Dang, Palantir shorts have just been getting killed recently, and I don't think it's actually over for them yet, and I'll give my thoughts on Palantir and how they can keep the party going. We get the latest short interest data out on Palantir's ticker, and shares sold short has dumped 10% since then. The total percent of the float being shorted as of now for end of October is now 4.17% at around 85 million shares. Now, keep in mind though, we definitely aren't in short squeeze territory, or at least crazy ones, but it'd be no surprise expecting a massive drop in short interest for the next reading, which will be for the middle of November since it's a delayed metric. As you can see from Palantir's monthly chart, this short interest measurement happened before the latest run up to the $60 and upper $50 range that we're at today. So I'm keeping my eyes peeled for the next measurement. Now, with Palantir hovering around all-time highs, the sentiment has certainly flipped around Palantir's business and future ahead, with the continued turnaround for their year-over-year growth each quarter top line. Of course, that also brings up the valuation and how everyone will have their 2 cents on if it's over, under, or fairly valued, but that will always be around no matter what price they're at. But that's the beauty of it as well, because some folks can more or less take qualitative factors that, yeah, technically aren't easily valued, but still are meaningful, especially over a longer period of time. And of course, it's not investing advice, but I'd say the ones who should tread carefully the most are those who are considering how they build their positions during these times, at least for the perceived expensiveness and if it's worth it to you and your individual investment goals, because that will vary from person to person already. There's definitely no one size fits all, and Palantir is not the kind of company, in my opinion, that can or should be tolerated in every single portfolio based on your specific investing goals. So please just ensure you do your own due diligence. So Palantir's performance, even more than the euphoric macro, it feels like we've entered will be watched under a magnifying glass. I've said this time and time again, but execution, in my opinion, is what Palantir has to deliver still. But it's still important to note, rather, that they're at the point of continuing to show it's building up and maintaining that valuation. Palantir has technically already improved over several quarters now at this point. Growth has returned and is actually accelerating again, and has achieved the holy grail of 30% back in their latest quarter. So the name of the game right now at this point is, can we go even faster based on their quarterly earnings? With future growth already priced into the stock, numbers matter even more, I'd say, because you're projecting out how their growth will compound on itself. Even having stagnant growth staying at 30% could technically hurt the narrative if people are expecting them to continue accelerating and growing even faster than they are today. So I'm not talking day-to-day stuff, of course, taking a longer-term perspective. There is still a lot desired to quote-unquote justify needed where Palantir is today, with the big caveat being growth into the valuation is still on the table. So nothing is guaranteed as always. However, there seems to be a lot of tailwinds and still the possibilities of big government contracts, as well as the big commercial deals that can make a play. Since at least based on the latest earnings too, they showed off that getting their name out there, even if an official deal hasn't been signed, or at least a big long-term contract, they can still close it over some time. Because we've seen with the anecdotal examples, there can be a delay of 1 to 2 months until something is on the books officially signed, and these can be multi-million-dollar deals even if it takes place over a few years. So I'm curious to know your thoughts below, and I'll see you in the next video.